Hello, everybody. I'm Thimaya Subaiya from ZK Research and eWEEK, and I'm here for another one of our episodes in our eSpeak series. This is a series where I talk to a number of industry thought leaders. We have a casual conversation about things going on, and hopefully we learn something from this. And so today's guest, I'm delighted to have him, is somebody I've known for a while, Thimaya Subaiya. He's is an SVP in Cisco's CX group. And so Thimaya, say hello to everybody.
Hey, Zeus. Hey, everyone. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, you've been, I think, in that role for a little while now. And the CX group at Cisco is interesting. Formerly the services group. It's a group that I've worked with for quite some time. In fact, even prior to being an analyst, I was a customer and had a lot of interactions with what was known as customer advocacy then. So tell me a little bit about what this group has evolved into now.
So like you mentioned just now, Zeus, initially when we started off, it was the services organization. The concept of customer success existed, but it was a very different organization. So what we ended up doing was bringing the entire thing together in terms of the customer experience, because the way we think about the entire industry and where we are going with it from a product perspective is it all needs to tie together, whether it's services, whether it's customer success, everything. The goal behind it is to provide a very unique experience to our customers and to make sure that we are with them along their entire journey. So we put this entire organization together, the customer experience organization, but we also ended up completely rewriting the playbook. We brought in a net new playbook that is completely connected end-to-end, right from the product purchase all the way down to your implementation, to your adoption. So we tied all of that together in one single group.
Yeah, because historically, I think the group, if you think about what Cisco Services was, it was, the TAP organization. There's a lot of break fix, things like that. But now you guys do a lot of more higher level things as well, correct?
That is correct. So one of the main areas that we branched into is the advisory services, because in between every purchase and implementation, there's an entire area which is the advisory. And that's something that was always in need within the market, within the industry, that we've started to go heavy into with one of our newer products called Business Critical Services. So we brought that in together with the support, the optimization, all of that tying into one nice journey for our customers.
Yeah, I remember the launch of BCS because I think I wrote the white paper on that. So
there you go.
Go Google that and look that up. Now, you wear another hat as well. From what I understand, you're the chair of the CCO Roundtable, which is, from what I understand, a collection of people like yourself that are responsible for customer success or customer experience. So can you tell me a little bit about what that organization does and connect the dots between that and your role at Cisco?
Yes, so I'm part of the overall customer experience roundtable, multiple different industry leaders from various different organizations, various different companies all coming together. One of the things that we always talk about is what's the evolution look like? Where are we going with our models? Each one of us has a different, unique model. And ultimately, when you look at how all of this is coming together, we share best practices, we share ideas. Sometimes we innovate in certain companies, look at, did we find the right playbook? And then we share the playbook across the board. Because as we move to a multi-cloud, as we move to a multi-vendor technology consumption model with our customers, it's not a thing about did you get your product right and did you get your adoption for your product right? It is about how does that product work in conjunction with multiple other products that exist within the industry. And what we are trying to do is trying to pull a playbook together that is cohesive, where it truly focuses on the customer.
All right. Now, I'm sure you can't share any specifics of what individual people or the members have said. Are there any high-level themes that are coming out of this roundtable that maybe you could share with our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things is customer success as a model. When initially it was incubated, initially when it was launched, was centered around a customer success manager or a customer success executive. And that person's primary role was to drive adoption for that particular product within the customer. But let me give you a simple example. If a customer has a project management system and a task management system, you cannot drive adoption of both of these independently because both these systems need to talk to each other. So one of the big themes that's coming across is how does integration play a big part in this? And that's where bringing services in closer together with customer success is starting to become the norm, is starting to become the playbook within the industry. And every single service is starting to overall help with the adoption and drive adoption to a very large extent. The other big theme that's also coming across, and this is something that I'd love to take a lot of pride in because this was one of Cisco's first models that we implemented, was the user experience, but from a use case perspective. And what I mean by that is up until now, it's always been company out. This is the first time we're starting to look at a world where it's customer in terms of the way we package our solutions, the way we sell our solutions, and the way we deliver our solutions and help our customers with the adoption. It primarily focuses around use cases. And use cases, which are customer use cases, what do customers want to achieve with that product and how does it tie in to the entire ecosystem? And bringing that piece in together with the partner ecosystem that all our companies are familiar with, which is the larger extension, starts to become the key in terms of integration, in terms of building out any net new services for our customers.
All right. And I want to go back a little bit to the Cisco CX service. And I've noticed that from looking at your financials, the percent of revenue, overall Cisco revenue on the services group has continued to grow. I attribute that to the fact that services are more in demand, right? And so if you look at the trends in the industry, particularly since the pandemic started, your CEO, in fact, Jeff Robbins, has talked a lot about how it's accelerated digital transformation efforts for customers. And explain how, as we look to try to do more with our IT infrastructure, the complexity on IT has gone through the roof, right? So just give us some idea of how the services you offer can help customers accelerate their digital transformation plans, but yet mitigate a lot of the risks associated with, with complexity and what you're seeing out there for complexity too.
Yeah. So if you look across the industry, one of the big things is talent, having the right talent at the right time. And when it comes to digital transformation, the key behind it is talent. And the second thing is, what does your talent do, or what is the playbook that they follow? Is there an agile model in place? Are you looking at net new technologies that you're planning to bring in? And the reason why I bring up talent as the number one factor is because whenever you talk to a CIO and they're talking about digital transformation, yes, the technology exists, but they may not have the talent in-house, or they may have to acquire talent, which typically takes time, anywhere between about 6 months to a year for them to bring the right people and train them. So a lot of these companies are looking for either advisory-like services as well as implementation services where companies are able to come to you with a holistic solution, their transformation vision, and help you co-author the entire thing with them, be the trusted partner, be the advisor, be the trusted advisor. And the best part about this is with most of the services that we have within Cisco, what we've started to do is amplify the entire advisory, the resources that are available to all our customers as well as our partners and from within the partner ecosystem. And that's causing a big boost overall in terms of successfully creating digital transformations for our customers. I know that word is cliche, it's overused, but at the same time, it is the outcome that you're looking for. So tying the right use case with the right resources, being able to deliver the right technology at the right time to our customers is primarily the focus across us, our partner ecosystem, and that's where the rubber meets the road, and that's where you see growth.
Yeah, the talent shortage is certainly something that all IT leaders grapple with. There's not a CIO I talk to that doesn't actually say that they just can't get enough modernized talent. There's certainly a big pivot going on in the industry here from a lot of the way we used to run IT to the cloud first model we're doing now. Now I know that's actually driven a lot of the changes in the way Cisco goes to market. In fact, at your most recent Cisco Live, Cisco rolled out network as a service, and so I think you can almost buy everything at Cisco as a service now, right? So how has that changed? How has that evolved the CS model at Cisco to help match up with the way the products are now being sold?
Yeah, and as you move towards more flexible consumption models, And this is something that's always been in the industry for a really long time. A lot of the Cisco portfolio already existed within this model. Now we're enhancing it even more. We're bringing in multiple different things. But where it all comes together is not about the actual implementation. Now it's moving away from there to be truly about the integration that you drive with any of your existing technologies and third-party systems. So from that perspective, whether it's an architect, an engineer, any one of these resources that you're looking for, the way we positioned it and the way we are driving the entire change is you're able to have the right resource at the right time. You may need a network engineer today, you may need a security engineer tomorrow, you may need a collaboration engineer the third day. And we're bringing all of that together in a meaningful way, so that way it's not only a flexible consumption model for our customers in terms of the technology, but also the resources that are going to drive the integration, whether it's to third-party systems, whether it's to internal systems, all of that comes together in the new CX operating model. So we were already building towards where we wanted to go, and now it's just starting to come together. And what I'm most excited about is where we're going. And that's where you're truly going to start to see all of these services come together. It's going to be very seamless in terms of the journey that we take our customers down.
Yeah, it's been interesting as an analyst, actually, where I cover, technologies like security and collaboration and networking, and now all of these things have come together. And when I talk to even reporters and things, they tell me it's hard to know who covers what, because so much of what we do in IT is now, cloud even is all been merged together. It's hard to find those lines of delineation between them. So that's really interesting. So before we wrap up, I'm just curious, what should we expect from CX over the next 12 to 24 months? How are the things going to continue to change, and what do we have to look forward to?
I think what you're going to start to see, or rather I know what you're going to start to see from CX, especially within the Cisco group, is an end-to-end connected journey for our customers. It's going to be seamless, whether it is the human touch, whether it is digital. We're starting to bring a lot of the digital place in, so that way we always have connection points with our customers. And the key behind this is, how do you take the digital play, the human play, and make sure that the interaction is there? Because we hear from all our customers saying, don't just move us to digital, we also want the human touch. And the key is, how do you drive that integrated digital scale, but at the same time maintain the human touch? And that's something that we are heavily focused on, and that's something that we're going to continue to amplify.
Yeah, that's actually, I'm glad you brought the human touch. I do think that in some ways, what you do in the group you run, the group you're part of, is that glue, right, between the people and the technology. And I think without that, we just have technology for technology's sake. And so we've been trying to move away from that for quite some time. So Thimaya Subaiya from Cisco, thank you very much for joining me. I think that was fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing what the CX organization continues to do. Thanks everybody for watching. I'm Zeus Caravallo from ZK Research. And as my former host used to always say, Chris Greenstern used to say, have a great rest of your eWEEK.
Thanks for joining us on eWEEK eSpeaks. Go to eWEEK.com to hear more conversations with IT thought leaders.